Ed Dodds is the assistant general manager of the Indianapolis Colts. He does a lot of the evaluation of Colts draft picks and free agents. He does a lot of the internal stuff. He manages a lot of the evaluation as well. So when we get a chance to talk to Ed Dodds, it's always kind of a treat. And I thought it would be interesting for you to get a chance to hear him talk about the evaluation of Anthony Richardson as the Colts were preparing to draft him, and his evaluation as Anthony Richardson has moved through OTAs and all the mandatory minicamp stuff, and now his first preseason game. Kind of interesting stuff from Ed Dodds. And I want to remind you that if you want to win an Anthony Richardson alternate jersey, one of the Indiana Knights jerseys with the stripes, you have to subscribe to this channel and subscribe to Two Big Brains and send me a DM. Just that simple.
Yeah, Ed, last time we talked to you, you talked about how, one of the challenges with evaluating Anthony was just kind of how many voices he's had in his ear over the years, quarterback gurus and whatnot. And now, coming to a new team, obviously he's got like 3 more voices in his ear. So does that just underscore kind of why he needs to play, the reps he needs to get to kind of make those 3 voices kind of the more present ones?
I don't know that these voices he has now are, it's consistent. It's the same message every day, and it's going to be for a while. And just watching him from OTAs until now, the cool thing is every day is just is a little bit better than the day before. That of course he's a rookie. There's going to be some plays where, oh man, you should have looked here, or you're inaccurate on this, or you didn't see this guy, but literally every day's been a little bit better. And that's been awesome to watch, honestly.
I guess with Anthony specifically, now that you've kind of lived with him per se for a couple of months, like what stood out to you just about how he works and his personality?
Well, I think, his comfort, I know if you talk to some of the offensive linemen, he's got some confidence in the huddle, and not like, hey, I'm this young first round pick, I got all the answers. Not that. It's not like too big for him, and he's comfortable in there. And even and we saw this in college. It was one of the things that I got excited about him. His poise and his feet in the pocket, just how he kind of feels pressure and moves. That's that natural instinct that he has that some others don't. And these offensive linemen see it, when they're watching tape of practice, and they know that we don't have to be just perfect all the time. And this isn't, obviously he's big, right? He's real big, he's real fast. I'm not talking about the running, but just the subtle movements in the pocket, and then his in the huddle, calling out the play, that sort of thing. I've heard comments from some of those guys like, hey, he's doing a good job with that.
Along those same lines, you obviously knew physically how talented he was, coming in through the draft. How much did you know about his work ethic and his ability to kind of quickly pick up concepts? And how much of that have you kind of found out over the last few months, or confirmed over the last few months with him in the building?
I think what we've done is confirm a lot of things, because we spent so much time talking to people that coached him, that have been around him, and then with him, leading up to the draft. I felt like I probably wore him out. I'd call him all the time and ask him, because I was rewatching stuff over and over and over. Like, hey, what about this? Why did you do this here? What made you throw it here? Why didn't you throw it here? I just ask him a million questions, as his coaches, everybody. And it confirmed it. And that's why we picked him, and we're comfortable doing so, because it's just it's what everybody said was going to be.
Whether you guys know or not what's going to happen, how do you have to look at the running back position? Because you've got to be ready for September 10th regardless. Is that what you've been doing? Like, you bring people in, and how does that impact that?
Look, honestly, this is I'm not going to BS you guys. It's just like college, like we do with a quarterback. Whether we have one or not, you never know what's going to happen, because we've literally been through it, where we had a great one in here, and 2 weeks before the season, hey, I'm done playing. So you just got to always be prepared for everything. And every year, like whether it's a draft or a great player in the league, like someone that's, hey, this guy's going 1 overall. And, in years past, we didn't even have a first round pick, right? So you're like, he's going 1 overall, or he's going in the first round to be long gone. And then something happens. I mean, you guys watched the Laramie Tunsil thing. I was in Seattle. We thought we had no shot. And then he starts dropping in the draft. So you just got to always be prepared for those things. And I mean, we don't treat it any differently. I mean, we evaluate everybody every year.
That's Ed Dodds. Ed Dodds is a business person who is in scouting. He is not frivolous. He does not try to make people laugh. He is not a comedian. He is a scout, and he's a manager of scouts. And listening to him talk about the process of scouting Anthony Richardson, making sure that they were getting the right guy, and then at the end, kind of some other stuff, some overall stuff, I thought it was interesting. And I still think it's interesting, and maybe now I think it's even more interesting.